on site here with you at Valgedaan today. I wanted to come and chat to you about some of the frequently asked questions that people who are moving in or potential buyers have. So I just want to get the ball rolling. When we talk about the building periods, how long does it take from foundation all the way through when we talk about the normal time frame?
In the normal time frame, normally we start with foundations. The first is our surveyors come set up the houses for you, and then we start with the excavations. And while we're busy with that takes about normally say 2 to 3 weeks. And in that period of time, we enroll with the NHBRC.
Okay.
We're not allowed to pour any concrete before we don't have the building permit from the NHBRC. So, and we have engineers that come do the inspections. So after that 3 weeks, we build out the foundations, then we do the filling of the floor area. And if that compaction is correct, the engineer come do a test, and then we're ready to pour the floor concrete. Now, after that, normally with the current cement that we're using in these days, it takes around about 3 days for the cement to crystallize. By that time, when we start building on top of the floor slab, the foundation already rests more than enough. So there was not too much weight put on the foundation. And depends on the size of the house and the design of the house. A standard house, say about 150 to 250 to 300 square meters, can take us 4 to 5 months to complete. Everything is dependent on weather conditions. So when we enter the rainy seasons, we normally get a 2 to 3 weeks delay sometimes. And that is the normal time frame for a standard house. As soon as we do decking, it's another story. Then obviously it will take longer when you go to the second floor, first floor.
Absolutely.
And curing time for the concretes.
Absolutely. And I do think, Jan, for a first-time person building, people don't always understand that certain delays, come across your path. What are the common delays that you don't have control over at the moment?
For people that haven't built a house or was not part of a project, I normally suggest that they first come sit with me, that I explain to them step for step how it's going to work. We normally do estimations on time frames, but like I said, if there is stuff that's out of our hand, like rain or weather, that causes a delay, but it will not cause a delay in the structure of the house. It's only a delay in time. And to explain to someone, in my best opinion, is that when I build, I cannot talk about other builders, when I build. So when I start with my costing, let's start from the beginning, plot and plan, costing. I normally go sit with the client and we discuss his finishes, the layout of the house. The plot is very important because the plot also estimates your building. You have to estimate your slopes on the plot because that will be a big influence on your costing. Do you need to build retaining walls? Is there a rock that needs to be blasted? So all that stuff will give you the bulk figure of what the house will cost. I know people talk about square meter prices. You can build a house for 7,600 rand a square. You can build a house for 15,500 rand a square. All depends on your design and what layout, your plot, and what you're looking for and what the client wants.
So that brings me nicely on to, if I'm a potential buyer at Valgedaan and I get here at structure level, but the fittings aren't done yet, do I have the option to personalize that, and how does that process work?
Yes. we have our budget worked out beforehand, and we like to stay in the budget. So there's a budget for tiles, for paint inside, outside the house. We need to comply to the estate's guidelines. So inside the house, the client have more free.
Like creative free.
Creative,
yeah.
It can be creative free inside the house. I have a budget for the tiles, I have a budget for light fittings, I have a budget for cupboards. So if he stays in the budget, it's good. If there's something else they want to do or more extra work, then we just add it to the price.
But I do think it's important to understand that you can't moan about your costing if you want extras.
No.
It must be in your budget.
No, if we can stay in the budget, we have good quality, as you can see on the videos and photos. We don't use products that's not available every day. It will be available, your tiles will be available in 5 years from now, and it's a good product. It's not, we're not going cheap.
I must say, Jan, you know, I've always been very impressed with the finishes and the fixtures that are selected for the homes I've already seen, so I can absolutely speak to that level of quality. The other thing that I think is a common question, we live in South Africa, we live in the real world, so we all know security is top of mind for a lot of people. Tell us a little bit about the security at Welgedaan.
We've now been busy here for a couple of years at Welgedaan. Welgedaan 1 is already fenced in with electric fence. And there's a security company monitoring the fence. We've got good quality cameras on. So if there's any movement outside, the security is always informed. We've never had a single problem at Welgedaan. It's quite safe that I can vote. I'm actually also looking into investing in Welgedaan and want to move from Langebaan to Welgedaan.
Good job.
We have these beautiful views. Safety is on board, and the growth in Welgedaan at the moment is the potential for your property and investment to go is so big, and our prices is below all the other estates on the West Coast.
Absolutely.
And also the quality of the product that you deliver.
And Jan, you make a very good point. You know, there's such a boom in St. Helena, Langebaan, but those are the names people know. I also think that Saldanha, I think if you are somebody who is looking for a quieter pace of life, a safer pace of life, I agree with you that you're getting a lot for your money if you compare it to any of these other towns in our region.
No, definitely. I've done construction St. Helena by Velden, Hopefield, up to Eiserfontein is where I work. And we've got now an influx of people from Eiserfontein. We just now signed a contract with also a senior guy from Eiserfontein that's moving here. We already have people that's living here. So we can now start seeing what we projected from last year. And I'm not going to badmouth any other town.
No, that's not what we hear.
Because I also work there. But I can truly say that this estate is one of the most beautiful places on the West Coast at this moment.
Agreed. And I think it's the small town charm and the friendliness of people who live here, beyond just people in the complex. I think it's just the way people wave at each other in the streets, and you know everybody at the local shops. You know, I think that does add a bit of charm to the place.
No, definitely.
Jan, I think another very important thing that people ask about is their warranties, their snag times. How does that all work?
We try to keep in the law and always do a little bit more than it's expected. The NHBRC, when the NHBRC is paid, that is the client's guarantee, warranty on paper that me as a builder is obligated to give you a 3 months period of time to do snags. That small hairline cracking, a chip here on a tile and there. If it is my wrongdoing of the contractor's wrongdoing. I mean, if you take a hammer and you drop a hammer on your floor, that's not the welgedaan's baby.
Yeah,
so normally it's about 3 months staging period. 1 year on roof leaks on your roof, and that's the NSBRC and the Housing Consumers Act are hand to hand. The one was written for the other. So what I normally suggest is wait till your last day of the 3 months warranty period and give me a snag list.
A full list.
A full list. We always there to take each other's hands, and I mean, I'm every day at the estate. So if there's any problem, the client can phone me or come to the office and we can discuss the problem there. Luckily we don't have any big problems. We make sure our work is correct. And I think it will be one happy family as well for that.
Jan, the other thing I wanted to ask you, if I'm living at Welgedaan for the next 5 years, and I'm out of that snag period, out of that guarantee period, what are the important maintenance things if you are living by the coast, on the west coast specifically?
Okay, let's start from day one. I always suggest to people, we're using the best type of roofs, corrugated roofs. If you have a corrugated, the corrugated that we put on is approved for the weather conditions on the west coast. But always once a year, get someone to clean your roofs, clean your gutters, do maintenance on the house. Don't wait 5 years and now you want to do maintenance. If you see a small crack after a year and a half or two, fix it, then it costs you nothing. Compared to wait 5 years and now the paint starts peeling and the crack is maybe a little bit bigger. I mean, for me also, if someone called me, they got a crack, I go and investigate. Even if it's beyond our period of warranty time, I investigate and immediately will tell no, there's a major problem or not. And if it's a major problem, we have liability for 5 years on major cracks, foundations that's sacking. So the client can feel safe for at least 5 years. The engineers, they give about a 10-year guarantee on their design, on the structure of the foundations. So I think everyone can feel quite safe. And also, if they want to do background check, we are quite visible in Lanneman, St. Helena Bay, Veldrif, and also at Welgedaan. They can come see for themselves what we're doing. So I can tell with a safe mind that the people will get a very good product.
And I can absolutely speak to the fact that Jan is always here, having gone through many of the homes. I really want to invite you, if you are thinking about buying at Welgedaan, please come and visit, please come and see for yourself. It's easy to say something on video, but come out, meet Jan, meet the team, come and have a look around.